audio device was fucked up.
Oh.
We probably need to start over.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's
All
okay,
right, so
Joe.
this-
Oh, we lost
so-
all the UTI stuff except for me talking about being Joey P Pants. So now we have a new episode title.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right, so the plane, you get into it in the ship, and it's great. The action. No, wait, that was the fourth time. I just wanted to talk about the
Star
Battlefront.
Wars
Moment.
Battlefront moment.
I just want to talk about it one more time.
Oh, I wanted to cry. I went from so excited to just pissed off by the end.
Joe, do you want me to start recording audio also for us?
If you'd like to.
I'm going to be recording it in video format because I'm lazy.
That's fine.
But yeah, I can absolutely do that. That's no problem.
Can I ask a weird question? Do I look clear in my picture?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
just as clear as Joe does.
Oh, it's so weird. Like mine looks green on my screen. You guys look crystal clear, and I look fuzzy,
No, you look good, man.
like grainy.
You look real good.
Super weird.
Heyo. Yeah.
How's it going, Brian? Been working out?
You know my
Actually,
wife's
well-
out of
well-
town.
Well, yeah, actually, I have been working out, but
Nice, good. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to scream at you. That's
No, that's
really
all
good, Brian.
I always
Thank
get
you!
really excited when people tell me about how they started at a fitness.
no, I'm looking forward to like October 6th. That's kind of like our anniversary date from when we started. So I'm at 44 pounds right now. And I'm hoping to get to 50
Awesome.
by October 6th.
I believe in you,
That's
100%.
fantastic.
So-
That's so goddamn cool. I love when people get help.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know,
just-
me too. It's such a good thing. You want to know how I know I'm old?
Yes, I do.
Fucking
Yeah.
success stories of fitness make me tear up.
Oh, you watch The Biggest Loser?
No.
Okay.
From what I hear, they are just awful
Mm-hmm.
to the contestants.
There's
Yeah,
like extreme weight loss challenge was the one with like the bald guy, and that was like a full hour and it was one person. Those were really cool because he actually like told them this is a lifestyle change. Don't just fucking stop eating and work out all the time. Anyway,
Right.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, Brian.
No. I mean, that's what we've done. We've cut back on, cut back on some of the food stuff, and I've tried to be a lot better about eating sweets and whatever. I mean, I've even moved from, my doctor took me off the pre-diabetic list. So
Nice.
That is
Yeah.
super
Huge.
cool. Yeah.
yeah, so now I'm in the normal range for my A1C. So I'm just seeing results is like a huge thing for me. So that's kind of been my driver.
That is awesome, dude.
That
I'm so
is
happy
super
for you.
I am
Thanks.
psyched for you too. Aw.
Aw.
I feel bad if I keep
Aw.
repeating it. I don't want to be that guy who like keeps saying over, hey, did you see I lost weight? Did you see? I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't want to be that guy either.
This is a much better note than the UTI discussion, so I'm glad that this is recording correctly. It's about to jams up your junk.
Yeah.
So, take two. Welcome to the Homerow Podcast. I am your host, Joe McAllister, starting again because I'm really dumb, but I'm joined by the ever lovey and lovely Doxy. I screwed it up the first time, might as well screw it up the second time, right?
Hi, everybody. I love you.
Very lovely, as I said. And a big welcome back to Brian, who just got back from an awesome vacation.
Hello, I love you too.
Oh, Brian's lovey. And I'm just me.
I figured I was a magical girl 2 weeks ago, so today I could just be lovey.
I got
I'm generally for it.
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
magical girl thing. So weird. So we're going to talk a little bit about news, but we're going to talk more about the games that are kind of out right now. And we have an awesome topic that I know Doxy has some strong thoughts on, and kind of cool story about her progression through feelings and reaction. But the first story is that Notch is really lonely. I'm going to read these tweets again because it kind of gets the whole story over in a very clear, well, as clear as Twitter can be, because you're either really ambiguous or very concise on Twitter.
Right.
So starting at 3:48 a.m., this was just a few days ago, actually, on the 29th, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, revealed that having $2.5 billion for Minecraft has kind of ostracized him a little bit. So here are the tweets. I'll try and get through these quickly, but not speed read. Micro Machines. Oh, if I had the Micro Machine. Anyway,
Dude, Micro Machines.
Micro Machines man voice. Remember that commercial?
Let's talk about. I love myself some Micro Machines. Seriously.
Do you remember there were Micro Machines games for like PS1 and they were
Oh yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
I don't remember
I-
that.
Oh,
I actually had the little toolbox that turned into a giant city. That was fabulous. That was the best.
I had that.
It's awesome.
That was
I
a
didn't
big.
know there were video games. Were they good?
Yeah, they were pretty good. There was
Yeah,
like
actually-
like an RC racer one that I remember.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually pretty good.
Now I need the guys from Rocket League to make that. Ooh.
I want IRL fucking Rocket League BT dubs. I want to play soccer with RC cars so bad.
It would be pretty
So
cool if the
bad.
shock wouldn't kill you of like trying to do aerials and failing
Yeah.
horribly. But you could get like a single seater. Yeah. So anyway, Notch is really sad. So here's Notch's
That
tweet.
transition.
Yeah, really good at segues. The problem with getting everything is you run out of reasons to keep trying, and human interaction becomes impossible due to imbalance. Hanging out in Ibiza or Ibiza, depending on where you are. I've heard the English say it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't care. Hanging out in Ibiza with a bunch of friends and partying and with famous people, able to do whatever I want, and I've never felt more isolated. In Sweden, I will sit around and wait for my friends with jobs and families to have time to do shit, watching my reflection in the monitor. When we sold the company, the biggest effort went into making sure the employees got taken care of, and they all hate me now. Found a great girl, but she's afraid of me and my lifestyle, and went with a normal person instead. I would Elon Musk, of Tesla fame, and try to save the world, but that just exposes me to the same type of assholes that made me sell Minecraft again. People who made sudden success are telling me this is normal and will pass. That's good to know. I guess I'll take a shower then. So this all concluded at 4:16 a.m., basically about 30 minutes of Notch having a bit of a crisis, as Brian put it the first time before I fucked everything up. And Doxy, I want to know, I want you to explain this again because I think you made some awesome points.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first instinct, my first like reaction to these tweets was just white hot anger. Like I was so mad, and I was just like, oh boo hoo, like at least you have
Right.
2 billion things to wipe your tears away with, and like I think that's like the normal appropriate response to have right away when you see that somebody that is successful and like in the spotlight and stuff is like depressed and like crying to their fan base that doesn't have half of what
Right.
he can dream up, you know? And it then hit me, like, after thinking about it for a while, that I also think that it was kind of brave of him to be that open and honest about it on Twitter. And it goes to show you that depression can hit anyone. And that there's nothing that can stop it from getting you. And it's a living nightmare. And it's like, it's so impossible to really gauge. I don't know. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard to fucking live with, and there's nothing that can stop it. And I'm not explaining this as well as I did the first time, but like the thing that made me so mad was that he has this success, and like when I'm dealing with my own depression, I feel like I'm always like, well, you know, a lot of this would go away if I just had like the money to take care of it. Like I
Right.
could go and I could purchase myself some help, or like dig myself out of these financial holes that I'm in, and like I would feel a lot better about my station in life. But like he has all these resources, he can do all this, and he still isn't feeling good. You know, it's just frustrating at the same time to see him talk about this to his fan base that doesn't have what he has. So like it's really hard to pinpoint exactly how I feel about it. I feel multiple ways about it. More than anything, I feel really, really sorry for him, and I hope that he finds somebody to talk to that can
Right.
help him to feel better and kind of not, I don't know. It like I want to say don't put that shit on your Twitter, but at the same time, like he's just trying to connect to people, and like I don't
Right.
know what I would do in his situation. Like I would probably do the same thing. To be honest, I don't know. Like I want to say that I wouldn't, but because like I know that there's a lot of people out there who struggle that have an internet connection and follow me. You know what I mean? And like it feels like
Sure.
a slap in the face to them, but like the dude's just trying to air out his business, you know? Like
He needed an outlet.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to feel about this, but I feel ways. I feel there are ways that I feel.
So I guess my thoughts on it, being a person who fights depression on a daily basis, is no matter what, you know, like having the money is one thing, and I hope that he uses some of that money to get help, because you don't, first of all, you don't like to see people in pain. You know, I mean, I never want to. He's obviously in pain. Like there is obviously some pain there that he has to deal with, and I totally understand where you're coming from, Doxy. I feel the same way. There are certain triggers that I have that trigger my depression, and one of those is money. But the thing is even if you have the money, there may be other triggers that are involved. You know, like this loneliness that he's feeling when he's around other people. That could be a trigger, and that has nothing to do with, that could be, you know, a mom with her kid in the supermarket. She could be full of there could be people all over the place. She could still have that trigger, you know? So I totally understand what you mean that,
with depression, it could be in the middle of a group of your closest friends, and you can still feel all by yourself.
Right.
And alone, and like nobody understands. It's a nightmare. It's just hell on earth. It's horrible.
I totally understand your feelings though about the anger part. Because I mean, especially like, you know, you hear the trigger. One of the big ones for me is always when I'm watching an online, you know, like guys online or women on like IGN or Giant Bomb or whatever, and they're just like, I just have so much work to do, and it's just so hard going to E3 every year.
Like, you want to tell them to suck it the fuck up, right? Yeah.
I mean, just like, whoa, yeah, you have the best job in the world. So hard.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, it can be. Like, even the most mundane tasks can be incredibly overwhelming because you're just tired all the time. You feel like nobody understands. You feel like nobody cares. It's, you know, it's, and then you try to express yourself, and then people, like assholes like me, are like, oh, boo-hoo, fucking get over it, you know? Like, oh, we have a long way to go in terms of the way society looks at mental health.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's
huge.
It's
huge.
It's a multi-headed monster that we just have a long way to go.
Well, you know, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I was going to say, I think what I thought was interesting in reading through, half of this was interesting to watch play out was actually seeing the comments and seeing what other people had to say. And a lot of people were saying things like that just don't get about depression. It's not like you can just get over it. Just think happy thoughts. That's not
just be happy. Just be happy. Worst thing.
Just don't have cancer anymore.
Yeah.
Just regrow that leg. Like, it's the same thing. You can't.
And it was frustrating
to just
see,
it away.
But I did see a great counterpoint to some of these arguments, like people saying that this guy has $2.5 billion. But probably the best comment that I saw was, "Do you really think that if you had $2.5 billion, your life would be literally the same but with more money?" Like, there are so many things that come with that nobody has been exposed, like, that we can't even imagine. Like, this guy, even his Twitter is a brand now. That's not him. That's a brand. Okay. Even if he's airing grievances in, you know, his personal life, like, man, it sucks that I have to hang out on this sweet island in the Mediterranean with supermodels and, you know, outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce for a house. That sucks. That's too bad. Like, we don't understand that there's always circumstances, and it's a very blunt way to put it, but that everybody has a story, because everybody truly does, and it's a multifaceted, like, multiple threads. There's a lot more going into it, and there's a lot of really cool theories that I've just been looking at, like, that people don't consider. You don't consider things like when that guy cuts you off in traffic, you think he's an asshole, and he must do it to everybody, but it might be the one job.
Diarrhea.
It might be the one job interview this guy's had in 6 months, and he's been unemployed. And he's finally going to be able to get somewhere, but he's running 2 minutes late. Like, that would make me say, yeah, go ahead, dude, get in there. As opposed to being like, fuck you, I hope you burn in a car crash.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
There's just a lot to it that is and I hate to say that somebody else's pain is interesting, because that is a very cold way to put it, but there's a lot to it that I just think that the way that it's reacted upon within the gaming community, and don't get me wrong, we're not the most, like, empathetic of communities on the whole. People can lash out very quickly and say things like, well, cry into your stacks of money, but it's just not that simple. You
Sure.
know? That
Yeah,
I totally sympathize with it. Well, I can't say I sympathize. I empathize. Like, I feel there is a lot of pain there, clearly, as you guys both said. There's
Yeah.
especially to air it to how many freaking followers is. I mean, these tweets
Millions.
alone got, the first one got 2,000 favorites. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just one tweet at 3:48 in the morning gets that many looks and people saying, oh, man, hey, essentially Facebook likes. But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail that conversation either.
No, you made excellent points. One thing that that really also made me mad about it is that he's like, I would Elon Musk and try to save the world. Oh, bye, Brian.
Yeah, bye, Brian. I'll miss you. I'll tell your story.
I'll start over when he gets back, and you can edit.
Hold on while we try to get the call back, says Skype.
Beep. That was the please stand by beep.
It's pretty good.
Thanks.
I should edit that in or make a scene of that. Except I think we would have to hear the beep. Maybe.
I don't mind shrill noises.
Really?
I live with this voice all the time. Yeah. My boyfriend just laughed really hard and it made me feel really funny.
Good. Good. I'm glad.
I'm so mad at you for not coming to Iowa for one of the games.
I
I want to hang out so bad.
I would like to, but at the same time, it's
Yeah, I understand. I understand 100%. I get it.
also been like we moved 4 years ago. Hey, there he is. So it's,
Yeah,
it's
my-
almost like the first couple seasons we were like, yeah, let's go back to a couple games, and now it's like, God,
Right.
Barb.
No, I get it. It's cool. I'm just
Sorry,
you
my
know.
Skype took a dump.
Clearly.
That's all right.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back
Let me know when
to-
you're ready for me to start again.
Yeah, I mean, we're still recording. I'll just
Okay.
clip it. So you were really pissed off about the Elon Musk thing.
Yeah. It makes me mad that he has the capability to use this. I hesitate to call it an opportunity to do something really good with his position because
Right.
he really does have a great opportunity to really do something amazing for the world and that might help him to feel better. But he's not doing it because people will be mean to him. And that I kind of get it, but I don't think that I could ever all the way get that because no matter what I feel, I'm going to feel it and I'm going to say it. And I don't care if people disagree with me or give me hell for it. If I had a religion, it would be the fuck nice to each otherism, you know? And I feel like it's our job to leave the world a better place than we were put on it as best we
Right.
can.
Yeah.
And since he has this opportunity to do that and he's not doing it just because he thinks that people are going to be mean to him, then I mean, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
He has all kinds of ways that he can just not associate with the people who are being mean to him, or he can tell them, hey, I see that this is how you feel. Do you want to fucking talk about it in this public forum so that, you can air out your grievances and I can kind of let you know what's going on with me and everything can
Right.
we can come to an understanding. He has that power. I know that he's well spoken and intelligent enough to handle this.
Right.
I don't see why he doesn't do it. It's so frustrating to me. But at the same time, again, I don't know at the same time what kind of harassment that entails. And I know that harassment is hard on me, and I don't have fucking billions of eyes on me all the time, So
That one tweet actually is my most. I have the biggest problem with that one tweet saying,
Sure.
I'm going to read it again because he says, I would Musk and try to save the world, but that just exposes me to the same type of assholes that made me sell Minecraft again. So
also, that kind of puts a lot of blame on his fans and shit too, which is not
Yeah.
okay.
that's the part that gets me is the assholes that made me sell Minecraft. Motherfucker, nobody made you sell your property.
Yeah.
Right.
Granted, there were probably a lot of birds chirping in his ear saying this would be great for you, when in reality it's great for them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally get
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
But that's also part of, as a business owner or a manager or a studio owner of a clearly multi-billion-dollar property, hire somebody to handle that bullshit for you, even if it's forward facing. Like,
Right.
that's just really frustrating to shift blame of selling a property like Minecraft to Microsoft. Like, he sold it
Yeah.
to. I think Microsoft will do fine with it, but they're also a very big corporation, very different than Mojang,
Yeah.
whatever the hell they're
Oh
called,
yeah.
were prior to that buyout. Like, it's just that's all it comes off as to. All it comes off as to me is him shifting blame from like, well, I didn't want to sell it. They made me sell it. Like, unless
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
had some sort of crazy blackmail on like the nicest guy in the world that is clearly having some issues, like that to me is a tweet I would have deleted because it's. I
No,
don't
it
know.
feels bad to read that. It feels bad. It makes me feel bad to read that, and I'm not like close personal friends. I've interacted with the dude like twice, and like it makes me feel bad to read that tweet. Like some of this is my fault somehow, you know?
Mhm.
Right.
And he's still like he's such a personality that he has the power. Just something about that tweet in particular, and maybe this was just done very quickly on a keyboard, as we send out tweets all the time.
Right.
He probably did it without even thinking, but to me, it's just like he has the power and personality to change the way that businesses operate, especially interacting with him.
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't want to be or be around those assholes again, he has more than enough weight to throw around to be like, no, that's not how we're going to do things this time.
Right.
I don't mean to roll my eyes at Notch. I mean, he's awesome. He clearly created something great, and he is clearly having some struggles as well, and it sucks. But that one tweet really just rubs me the wrong way.
Sure.
But it's also the same. Like I can't judge the guy. It's like me saying one sentence that pisses somebody else off.
Oh, as somebody whose boyfriend is Mike Malbec, I can't judge him either. I can't judge him, but I sure as hell am going to. And no, I'm just kidding. It's just he has so much potential to do a lot for himself, and I hope that he does
Yeah.
for himself and for the fucking world.
Very true. Otherwise, in news, I mean, we can move on. That was kind of a. I thought it was a cool story, but I think it's also kind of a little bit of a downer. Let's just move on because there's two giant releases that are both very good games.
And
So
you're the only one that's played them, so let's
Yes,
hear
so
Joe.
yes,
It's
so
the
this is
Joe
gonna be
show
great.
for a
It's the
minute.
Joe show. So Metal Gear finally came out. I'm going to talk about that one first because I don't have as much playtime in the final product as I even did in that preview that I did a while back.
Mhm.
Excuse me, beer gets me gassy. But I have put a couple hours in, and I still love the game. I actually probably love it more now, but I haven't actually seen anything that's been like, holy shit, that's totally different than what I played. It's actually the same game that I played. There's like one or two scenes where I'm like, oh, they added this. That's kind of nice. It looks a little bit better. There's not pop-in. There's still pop-in, but there's not as bad of pop-in in certain places. I'm playing on an Xbox One when I played originally on PS4. Couldn't tell you the difference side by side. Right? Yeah, that 900p, I swear to God. Oh, get it
So
together,
ripped off.
Konami. Yeah.
So ripped off.
But it's
So-
fantastic. It's so cool. Like, the first hour is still one of the most intense, crazy... I actually saw a thing on the Reddit front page that was like the first hour of Metal Gear. It says, I have no idea what's going on, but it's awesome. And that is the perfect way to describe the first hour. And then you get dumped into Afghanistan and you just go do your thing. And I love that I am taking my time with it. I'm doing every side op as it comes up. I'm collecting the stupid flowers. I'm researching things at Mother Base. There is so much to do in this game. It's easily going to carry me up to Fallout 4 and probably beyond. I'm not even concerned about like the forward operating base or the microtransaction thing that they just revealed. That's kind of fucked up, but I'm not worried about it because I probably won't mess with it. Metal Gear Online, cool. It's coming in October. That's great. I still will probably be playing through the campaign and going back through and finding these stupid cassette tapes of like the Rebel Yell for my helicopter to play, like as it comes into the battlefield, just jamming Billy Idol.
Awesome.
But it's the things I've noticed is like Snake, for instance, is very voiced by Kiefer Sutherland, and he's about as close to a silent protagonist as you can get without being silent. Like there are
Right.
very few lines, but I still think he sounds awesome. Like I don't have that attachment to David Hayter, that a lot of fans
A lot
are
of people
upset
do.
about.
Sure.
Yeah, and I get it.
Yeah.
If somebody's voiced somebody for 15 years or longer, I can't speak to actually how long he's been in the series and voicing, but he is Big Boss, you know. And I understand that frustration. And like Ocelot is voiced by Troy Baker, which to me, he does a fucking awesome job. He sounds incredible as Troy usually does. And I think Kiefer does a great job. But I don't know. I think the production values are incredible. The music's awesome. The sound direction, like just the footsteps, and it's such a good game. Like it's right up there with The Witcher for me right now with like Game of the Year. Like
Nice.
awesome stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
And I knew it was going to be really good. I just wanted to see how the rest would play out. And like I said, it's weird because I'm playing through stuff I know I've played through before. I played through it in LA 3 months ago. But it's still so good. I still love it.
Dude, that was 3 months
excited.
ago?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I know.
How
I
long
know I
have
talk
I
about
been
it.
doing the podcast?
A while.
A while.
Isn't that weird?
I know. It's
Um,
awesome.
I was going to say, well, if you go off our episode numbers, but I can't even recall what number we're on.
Yeah, no, and
we
we're
don't-
so irregular anyway.
Sorry, audience. We love
Yeah,
you so
we're gonna fix
very
that
much.
someday.
We love you. So yeah, are either of you looking forward to it, or are either you gonna think about maybe picking it up?
I bet you anything Michael will
Yeah.
want to play it, and we'll probably get it. But like all the stuff that you say, this like singing recommendation that you are giving it, I am sounds cool. Like if you have to replace a voice actor, Kiefer Sutherland isn't a bad fucking choice for
Right.
one.
Yeah.
For two, saying that the sound direction, that's one of those things that I like really truly adore in a game, like is good sound design. It's one of those things that you don't realize how important it is until it's done poorly.
So you're doing
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
If it's great or shitty, you're gonna know right away.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like so important for immersion,
Mhm.
you know? Like if somebody like does a backflip and it makes the boing sound every time, you're going to be like, "What the fuck is that?" But
Right.
like
Oh, but you know what's so funny is it's Metal Gear, so they have these random like acts of silliness.
uh-huh.
Right.
And it's like you jump on your horse and it does this fucking like trumpet, like reveille. Like you get on your horse and it's like, and it's you feel it's clearly done like in an orchestral trumpet. It's not cheesy, but it's like, come on. Or you punch with the bionic arm and it literally makes the sound from the Bionic Man.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Wong, 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 wong.
Exactly. And it's like spot on and you're like, what? Okay, I mean whatever, sure.
That's
but
awesome.
it's those little touches that are like they don't break the immersion, but it's like it's just Metal Gear. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to
Yeah.
explain. And I can say that not having played a couple of the entries, and I still know that like that's Metal Gear. You just let
Yep.
some of that stuff go, and it's very 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 good game. I would highly recommend. I think everybody should play it. In all honesty, like even my friends that are not into stealth games, the stealth can be a little unforgiving, but the nice part is the action that follows is still a little forgiving. Like you can get out of situations
Right.
in a way, and you can even approach them in any way you want. If you don't mind giving up your S ranking, you can call in your helicopter for air support to fucking blast this base while you sneak in the back door. And granted, you can only like max out at an A rating. Oh no, you might not get that emblem. But
Oh.
it's there. If ever there were a series that benefits from an open world, it's Metal Gear. Like it just,
Wow.
whew, and it's such a rapid departure from other Metal Gears. Like there's not many cutscenes. There's just not as much to. It's so hard to explain, man. It really is. It's just a fucking really good third-person stealth action game.
Nice.
That's exciting. That's
play it.
exciting.
I would recommend everybody play it. Pick it up. I don't think it'll probably go on sale until maybe day after Thanksgiving. I mean,
Yeah.
No way. No.
it's still too soon to me, but that's the
Definitely, it's
soonest I could see
definitely
it.
not going to happen.
No, Konami needs every single dollar. They are not going to drop
That's true.
the price on that.
I did see Green Man Gaming had it on sale like as a launch special for. Nope, that was Mad Max. My bad. That's the next game I'll talk about. So yeah, if you guys do get Metal Gear, you should get it on Xbox One and let me know your gamer tags, and I will invade your FOB. That is not a euphemism.
R0DOXY.
That was not a euphemism. I'm not going to invade your forward operating base. But the cardboard box is back too, and you can like slide and pop out of it. It's really cool.
Nice.
Do you guys have any questions about the game? I don't want to just like only talk about what I played.
I guess my question to you then is like, as a person who isn't into stealth as much, I mean, like, are there settings that I can make so I can actually make the game playable so that I can experience the game rather than just keep getting frustrated by the combat or not combat?
I think you'd be surprised at how intuitive the stealth system actually is. So there's reflex mode. I'm not sure if you saw that introduction. Okay. Square one. Metal Gear Solid is a sneaking game about a guy named Snake. But really there's like, you have different stances. You can crouch, and like any stealth game really. It's a lot like Splinter Cell, but you have these little like circles that will show up, or a part of your arc will kind of point to the guy that might see you, like maybe notice something was weird over there. And if it's nighttime, they'll like pop up a flashlight and look around real quick. And you can actually go prone, sneak around stuff. Like you can get away from an instance where you think like, oh, they should have seen me by now. But if you're standing up sprinting into a checkpoint, yeah, they're going to see you. Like you're going to get that slow down. The reflex mode is like this slow down, and it zooms over to whoever spotted you, which is actually really nice, especially if you're like, you don't realize somebody saw you, and you can just snap over to them. And for me, the primary weapon has been a tranq gun. And if you hit somebody in the face with it, they go down in one shot. If you hit them in the chest, they'll go down fairly quick. If you hit them in the legs or the foot or the arm, they go down a lot slower. But it's also kind of cool to be able to step back and recon like a small outpost and be like, all right, there's 4 people. 2 of them are staring at each other, so they'll be my last targets. I'll pick these 2 guys off. And then I can hit one in the chest, and what they do is they might be like, what is that? Like, you can visibly see them from a distance, like, what the hell was that? Like, brush it off like a bee sting.
Mm-hmm.
And then while you're making your move up, you might see him go down, which is your cue to pop up and hit the other guy in the head and just take him out. Or
Nice.
if you're right behind him, grab him, interrogate him, and ask him where you can have him spit it out, or you can have him tell you where his buddies are. And if you've taken care of everybody, obviously it doesn't really matter. But if you sneak into a base and say, tell me where they are, he'll like mark 2 or 3 guys for you that you might have totally missed. Or
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole like side thing too is you're building a base, so you have to find resources and find money, basically GMP. So they might tell you, oh, we've got diamonds over here, or there's some ammo. Are you looking for C4? Like it's a hugely layered game that dumps everything on you seemingly like right at the beginning, but it's never at a pace that's like, slow down, stop. I can't. No, you need to stop.
I call that Game of Thronesing.
Just throwing names at you left and right.
Yeah.
But they do a good job of it, and it's something like I said, where if I wanted to, I could sit up on a ridge across from this hillside encampment and just pick people off. And granted, it's going to cause a panic in that base, but they usually will run down into the ravine and try and figure things out. But I can also relocate. So there's a heavy focus on stealth, of course, because it's a stealth tactical. That's what Metal Gear is. But I would also say that it is very forgiving for the non-stealth focused player. And it teaches you the system very well. So I still think everybody should give it a shot. Gamefly it, rent it. Redbox will probably have it, I imagine. But
Oh, yeah.
it's totally worth checking out. If it's not for you, it's not for you. We always talk about games that you can say,
Right.
not my thing. Case in point, Dark Souls, not my thing. Metal Gear might not be your thing, but I really think it's got a very large mass appeal to it.
All right.
Awesome sauceum.
Cool.
Sounds real good.
I'll move on
Mad
to
Max.
My other
I'm
third.
so excited to hear about Mad Max.
So I am I'm conflicted. So I really, really like it. And it takes some of the best aspects of some games of the past. And I also want to stress that it is not Fury Road, the game. So if you've watched Fury Road, great, fucking amazing movie that I just
Right.
watched a couple weeks ago for the first time and love it.
Oh.
But I also kind of went into this knowing that it wasn't developed in the sense that it's like Fury Road 2 or in any way really beyond name related to the movie. So
Okay, good. That's actually good.
keep that in mind, yeah, because if you think of like the Road Warrior, it's a little bit more of that, Max. Like it's a strong voice actor. The story to me is at this point a little light. Your car gets broken, so you get a new one, and then you have to build that car up and take out you're basically trying to quiet things down in this map is essentially what it all boils down to. Like the main bad guy, Scabrous Scrotus. The names in the game are fucking awesome.
It's really good.
Nice.
You meet a dude named Chum Bucket who fixes up your car and like rides in the back and shoots your harpoon, and I wouldn't even say it does anything probably better than any other open world game, but it does a lot of things really, really well. Like the combat, to me, it draws a lot of parallels to like Batman and Shadow of Mordor. Mm-hmm. And I would actually put it more towards Shadow of Mordor. It's a little tougher combat-wise. Like the timing for the parries or the reversals is a little bit more tricky to nail down, but once you get it, you kind of have it.
Yeah.
But you can't also just stand there like in Batman and wait for somebody to flash that icon and hit Y or triangle or whatever. But it's fucking brutal. The hand-to-hand is, it's beautiful. Like it is, if any game deserves a brutal hand-to-hand system, it's Mad Max.
Right.
Because you want that to be like visceral and just gross almost. And it's that. Like it's really that. You can hold down square to do a heavy strike. Like you can mix and match your strikes, and then you have a shotgun and you have a sniper rifle. The sniper rifle can only be used in the car. Your shotgun can be used at any time, but the ammo is so sparse in the game, and I love it. I absolutely love it because there's pretty much no guns beyond a sniper will fire at you every once in a while, or you can use the sniper rifle to spot things. We also have binoculars and all this stuff. Uh-huh. The best part of the game to me so far is how much there is to do, and they kind of just dump you into this world. Like I'm not very far. I think I'm only in like the third area so far, and I just really started playing today. But it's a map similar to Shadow of Mordor, where you have different zones, and you're going to these zones and trying to quell down like the threat level, and taking out these camps and taking out the big bosses of the camps. But there's no, the only thing that I think it really should have implemented from Shadow of Mordor was the Nemesis system, because in that world, if you could randomly generate a new like war chief, it'd be so cool. But it also doesn't really jive with the story of taking these guys down, and then you get paint for taking these top dogs down, and then you paint your car. But the real beauty of it is you can make your car. It's just upgrade porn is all it really is. Like everything you do is accruing some sort of resource, and like either making your car better or making Max better, or like I just finally got like the leather jacket with the shoulder pad. Like I look like Max, and it's awesome.
I want to hear about boss fights.
So I haven't gotten to a true boss fight yet, because those are the top dogs, and that is I know there's a campaign mission coming up where I have to take down a top dog, and I almost just went after one just to see how it would go. But from what I've seen, it's a very intense melee fight with like this dude's. His name is Rim Jobby. The names in the game are so good, and it's like only excusable because it's Mad Max. Like, well,
right,
yep, that's Mad Max for you. But I'm really excited. Actually, later tonight, I'm planning on staying up as late as I freaking can to continue going through and get through a couple of these top dogs. So hopefully next week I might even be able to expand on boss fights in particular, and like the progression. The only thing, like I was saying, it just feels like there's a lot borrowed from other games, and kind of just like, put this here, put this there. And sometimes it feels like Shadow of Mordor put in a different time with a car.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like it's
super not. I was just gonna say that sounds appealing to me.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And honestly, at first I was really scared, because I was like, oh man, going up against Metal Gear, that's tough. That's really tough, especially because I know Metal Gear is really, really solid. But to your point, Brian, for people that don't want stealth, Mad Max is like the polar opposite of stealth.
Right.
Everything's exploding all the time. And holy shit, the explosions are probably some of the best I've seen. Like the plumes of smoke that rise from different explosions. Like they did a good job. Like it's so cool, and the music's really good. Another point to you, Doxy. Sound design's awesome in this one too. The music is like orchestral.
Love.
And it's like very, very subtle. Like you don't realize there's music playing until you hear music. Like that sounds really stupid, but a lot of games, like, you never notice they have a good soundtrack.
It's like Skyrim. That's my like go-to example of an amazing soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. And if you just sit there for a minute, you'll hear the music and be like, oh, wow, damn, that's pretty cool. That's really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
The cars are like deep and meaty and like really just growling at all times whenever you're hitting the throttle. And to me, that's again like just it's a very self-aware or aware of the content and the source material game, which is exactly what you want for a Mad Max game. Because to be honest, they could have fucked it up in a lot of ways, but this also gives me a lot of hope for Just Cause 3. Like these guys at Avalanche are awesome and they know what they're doing, and they've made a beautiful world that if you look off in the distance, you're like, Jesus, wow. Like their skybox sometimes rivals Destiny to me. Like it looks really good. Like granted, there's not as much crazy space shit going on, but it's still something where I can look up and appreciate like the fact that there's a giant mountain jutting through these clouds, and like I'm staring down and I can't see the bottom of this canyon because there's this huge mist coming through. Or the sandstorms. The sandstorms are crazy. They can get so big that there's lightning, and the lightning can hit you and anything else. Like there's roving gangs of there's roving gangs, but there's also like these people just wandering around, and they have a little water drop icon, and you can give them water. Water is like your
right.
Somebody else called it your Estus flask, and it's very like it's the same thing. You have to go to a water fountain or a water source and fill it, and that's how you refill your health. But you can also give it to people, and they'll give you scrap, which is like the coin or the gold. But I saw a group of like 4 people wanting water get struck by lightning and just pieces.
Whoa!
And I was like, oh no! And I just like slowly kept going. Like, are they okay? Do I call somebody?
Yeah, call AAA.
Yeah, I'll send.
You don't sound
help.
very conflicted, Joe. You said that you were conflicted.
It's just the fact that I can see a lot of like I feel like I can see through this game, and I think part of it is that playing Metal Gear 2 like head to head is very, very tough. A game that comes out on the same day, I don't want to because I don't think they deserve it. I think on their own they're independent games, but I think that Metal Gear puts on this show for me, whereas Mad Max I can kind of see through to the systems, and like I can see under the skin a little bit more.
Okay, I get you.
So,
yeah.
And it's not necessarily something I want, but it's...
Yeah, it really is a shame that they launched on the same day. It's such a shame.
Is there any parts of it that feel repetitive?
I'm starting to kind of get that. Like right now, I have gotten to the second like main dude. So there's these like... There's the top dogs, and they're the bad guys, but then there's these like strongholds where they have... I'll just call them like a king or a lord. Of the area, and they basically like control the area, but they're not necessarily bad guys. Like you have to use them. You need to help each other to get to Gas Town and figure out like basically take revenge and finish the game from what I can gather. And the point I'm at right now, it's not really clear. It's clear what I need to do, but it's the same thing I had to do in the last area. I have to clear out a camp. And so I finally like drove around and found a camp. And it's hard as balls. And I finally like literally just before we started found a back door in, which going from Metal Gear, which is like I can literally approach from any way I want to this being like there's a bridge and there's one passage or like one other way in.
Right.
Is I don't love the way it handcuffs me because it's like an open world, but I don't feel like it's fully open. Like I can do whatever I want, but I also feel like sometimes it's not letting me do what I want.
Right.
And the movement's really weird. There's no jump. Well, there's a jump, but it's really bad. Like it's like a skip, like hip. And if you're standing still, he just like does this weird shuffle thing. And I also am like realizing that I'm kind of nitpicking on some of these things, but I'm also like, part of me is like, as I'm trying to critique it, like if I find something annoying, there's probably a reason.
Yeah.
Like there's something there that I just don't like about the way that does it, but yeah, I find myself driving around, finding a camp, and now it's like, okay, well, I have to assault the camp. I know I need to take out the perimeter defenses and then sneak in hand-to-hand everybody and blow up this thing at the end. And it's kind of to me, it's like ABC right now. And I'm really hoping it mixes it up a little bit, but it kind of is unfolding as like, here's a map with a lot of icons, now go have fun. Which is fine. It's just a different speed of game than I was kind of expecting, or like, especially with Mad Max, I kind of hope that there's some redeeming quality. You know, like Max is kind of an asshole who just is a drifter.
Yeah.
And
pretty much
ends up helping people because he's like, fuck, I really am a good person. I used to be a cop. Fine. Okay. I'll help this person. And I just don't get that feel yet. And I think it'll show up because I've seen like little hints of characters here and there, but I don't know. it's gonna take some more time. So I don't want to. I'm not trying to form a full opinion on it just yet. I'm only probably 3 hours into it, and I'm maybe more than that, but really hoping to get a lot in tonight and figure out over the next couple of days like what my true feelings are for it.
Sure.
I'm super excited to hear more about it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly way more excited about Mad Max than Metal Gear. Personally.
Well, fine. That's fine. Metal Gear, I think, is going to be like the slow burn. Like, it's going to be my Skyrim. It's going to be the one that I go back to. And, like, oh, yeah, my Snake is this level and my mother base has, this many millions of dollars and this many platforms. Like, okay, cool. Here's what I'm going to do today in this game. As opposed to, I feel like Mad Max is going to be like, I want to see this story really play out. And Metal Gear might have that. I don't know. They're both really weird games. And then Fallout's going to come out and I'm not going to give a shit. Like, it's just
right.
Yeah.
Every time you say mother base, I keep thinking you're gonna say mother brain. My mother brain is, X big. You're like, all right. How many Metroids do you have?
Oh, the Metroids. I haven't played a good. Actually, I want to get into Axiom Verge, but now that we're like in the heat of it, we're
yeah. This is not the time to start big game.
Anyway,
it's just
Brian, what
shit's
have you
about
been
to get
playing?
real.
Have you been playing anything? Because you just got back from vacation, like what, yesterday, 2 days ago?
I have been playing a few things. So part of my vacation was in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, enjoying the beach and playing my Vita. I've been playing some Danganronpa, which is a Japanese role-playing game where you get. It's one of those character games where you get put, like you and 14 other people are trapped in a school, and the only way to escape is to kill someone, but you have to get away with it. So there's like building relationships with the people in the school, and then when someone gets murdered, you have to go to trial. So you have to like investigate, find all these, all the truth bullets. That's what they call them. All the facts. And then when someone says, oh well, they did this, you're like, bam, that's a lie. I object, and you have to get in. And use your truth bullets to fix the problem, and then find out who did the who actually did the killing, so then they get killed because they're bad. So we've gone from 15 down to 12 in the first chapter. I'm in the second chapter. I'm still working through it, but I was actually playing my Vita. There are approximately only about 10. There's only about 10 people who actually play Vita at one time. I just happened last week. I just had me one of those 10.
I want a Vita so bad.
I keep thinking I should get one.
So here's the thing. The Vita's fantastic. I mean, we're talking about a 5-inch OLED screen. It's beautiful. The actual device, it does a lot, but there's just so much going against it. It's like every time they do something good, there's like 10 things that are holding it back, like proprietary memory cards, and it's still expensive to buy it, and the games that come out like later than the actual releases, and you're like, oh my gosh, why do you handcuff every time there's something good coming? You handcuff it. It just bugs me. But I mean, right now it's my Japanese role-playing machine. But it's been nice. I was playing it on the road on my Vita. I did actually access my PS4 from my Vita. So my PS4 was here in Cincinnati. I was in the Outer Banks. I accessed it from there. Wow. So I was able to log into my PS4 and do stuff while I was there.
Nice.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. So that's a nice feature. But then I came back early, and my brother came down, and we played some games. So we finished up Resident Evil Revelations 2, which had a really, I thought it was a great ending because it wasn't a happy ending. Like, it was like, I'm like, oh shit, I know what's going to happen. And I tell him, and he's like, oh man, that's bad. So like, I don't want to spoil it for people, but you get to the end, and you're like, oh.
I'm kind of a sucker for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I crave the good endings, when it's a bad ending, it makes me feel,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're just like, oh no, like that. Yeah, you do that. It's pretty great. And then we finished that, and I'm like, okay, I haven't played PT yet. So my brother's like, all right, let's do it. I'm like, okay. So we started playing, and right away you're like, oh man, okay. Like you already get like, okay, this is creepy. This is really creepy. And then we're like having these conversations, and I'm playing and he's sitting next to me. He's like, okay, something's gonna happen at the bathroom. You gotta go do it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it. He's like, come on, you gotta do it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. We do this, and then there's the part where we got killed. So of course we both scream like little girls. Like we both, like I could feel both of us jumping like up on the couch, like two grown men, like having this moment. I kind of wish we were recording it, or periscoping it or whatever, because we were like, two grown men acting like two 6-year-old girls. It was great.
Making
it
me
was
really want to cover this game. This
it was,
demo.
Like at the end, it was seriously like, okay, we're done playing this. Silent Hills not being made is a travesty now.
Yeah.
Like after playing this, there is seriously a part of me that's like, I realized that this is not a game for me. I'm not a huge horror person, but I would have played this game because it is that brilliant. Like everything in it was that brilliant. It was just, everything was so like the feelings that you're getting from it are because you're incorporating your own like experiences from the past of like walking down creepy hallways. I mean, who hasn't had that even in their own house? It's dark, you're walking down a hallway you've walked down, a million times, and you still kind of something like you're like kind of like, okay, I know there's nothing wrong, but yeah, like I got something in the back of and I'm like, something's not right. And that the entire time it was feeling that, and it was just like the radio is like telling you about the murder that you're investigating, even though you don't know you're so you don't even know what you're there for, but as you're going through, you're investigating some kind of murder, and you're like, okay, all right, and then you're like listening to like the report, and you're like, okay, so that girl got shot, and just look behind you, and you're like, what the fuck, shit, fuck, what? Oh, okay, everything's cool. Okay, that lamp is shaking more than it was shaking before, and the door moved. Okay, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. Okay, should we stop playing? No, we're not going to stop playing. We're going to keep going. But yeah, that is exactly how it was, and the entire game would have been like that. It is a damn shame that this game is not being made now. Seriously.
Okay, you're not only making me want to cover this game, you're making me want to play this game with you and cover it. That's what I want. I want to go to your house and play this game.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would really be awesome. So we did that. I also did a review on Mega Man Legacy Collection, which if you are a fan of Mega Man, you are going to love this game. It is so good. Like they kept really, what I love most about it is this is not a remake. So there's very little, it's not so much improvements on the game. It's digitally clips went through and made sure that this game felt like it did when you played it as a kid in 1990. Like,
is it the little one that they showed off at E3 that you're talking about?
I mean, it's like all the,
like
it's the first
super cartoony.
Well, no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Are you?
No. This is like
number 9.
Maybe.
That's got a really cartoony art style.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, this is oh my god, I'm totally blanking on his name. Is it Inafune?
Yeah.
So it's the first 6 games of Mega Man.
The real.
And yeah, the first real games.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, they have these challenges, and it actually takes different parts. So it'll remix up like all 6 of the Robot Master levels. They'll take bits and pieces of them, and you have to just get through that little part and get to the portal and go to the next part and get through that. Or it'll do like all 6 Robot Masters remix. And then they have one from Craig from Screw Attack. They asked him to make a challenge, and it is hard as fuck. Like I fail it all the time. It is hard as fuck.
Damn yous, Craig. Damn
you.
yous.
So passionate.
Seriously, it's like you have to do it in 8 minutes, and I have not done it yet. It's like 8.5 minutes later. I'm like, fuck, I failed. All right, doing this again
Through 4 controllers.
Yeah, that is the best part. I mean, it feels so good, like just to go back through Mega Man 2 And, like there are parts where, the game couldn't handle more than 3 of the same enemy on the screen, and the screen really starts getting that flashy, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Shit, the screen's go. Okay. And then I kill something, and then everything kind of goes back to normal because the processing power just couldn't handle it. So I was like actually using that to my advantage. So I'm like jumping across, and I'm like jumping one thing and waiting for the 3 enemies to follow so that they don't respawn in front of me, so that I don't hit them and die. So I'm like just jumping real slow as they're following me. So I'm trying to, I was actually using the game's limitations to my advantage. It was great.
That's clever.
Yeah. So it was a huge fan. I mean, you kind of get this feeling like I'm kind of old now. Like kids, honestly, if you went up to a kid and were like, who's Mega Man? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What do they know who Mega Man is anymore?
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I do like the fact that things like this exist. Like there are certain let's call it a remaster, because they did kind of go back and do some things to it, right? Like the fact that they're preserving history a little bit better.
Yeah. To me, that's what it is. It's more of preserving history than making it better, which is what I like. And they have a bunch of things, like you can go through like a database of all the enemies, and there's some artwork, and it actually tells you like how many hit points they have and how much damage they do and what they're weak to.
That's
so
really
it'll have like a little
awesome.
Tornado or something if they're weak to Airman or something. I mean, it's really cool. And you go through
for Mega Man.
Yeah, but I mean, that's outside the game. It doesn't like show that in the game, but you can still go through it and look at. I was just paging through it because I just thought the art was just to go through the art and look at, and it has little descriptions about like, oh, Dr. Light made this to do this, made this robot to do this, and Dr. Wily repurposed it to blow somebody up. Like this was a trash robot that Dr. Wily turned into a bomb. You're like, oh, okay.
All right.
I always thought that was. I always forget that there's like actually lore.
Oh no, there's a story.
Yeah.
There's a story behind it.
I love Mega Man. Mega Man 2. That was my jam.
It was so great. And then lastly, Tales from the Borderlands episode 4 came out, and damn, they're so good at storytelling. Oh man, they're so good. It's just, I mean, there's like, there's this part, I'm going to use it for my video for Coin-Op, and you're not Vasquez, but you're playing Vasquez, who's voiced by Patrick Warburton, and you're like disguised as him. And apparently in Hyperion, they have like some kind of game that they play with fake pistol bullets. And there's this entire 5-minute sequence of me just running through going bang, 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 bang. And everyone's dying. They're fake dying because this is apparently some kind of corporate game that they're playing. And like, there's a guy with a rocket launcher and he misses and people die because they got hit by the blast. I hit back a grenade and it takes out a bunch of people. They're all like, ah, and you're like, this is completely ridiculous. For 5 minutes I'm doing this. This is hilarious. I love it. It's so great. It's just, man, it's just so good. I'm so looking forward to the 5th episode, and I'm going to be sad when it's over. The humor is just so funny.
For Telltale.
Yeah,
love those guys.
Because Game of Thrones is almost over as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
they've got to be working on other stuff.
Minecraft. Yeah. Just Minecraft, no one I know of, right?
But I wonder, because they've had so much in the pipeline at one point. Like, I wonder if they're not like gearing up to really. Hopefully they. I've said it a couple times, but God, if they don't redo that fucking engine, like they've got to do something.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we see. Man, I'd love to see Wolf Among Us with season 2. Yeah. Another Walking Dead, maybe. There's a new Walking Dead TV show.
I'm praying for a Doctor Who. I can't say it enough.
That would be awesome.
I really want a Telltale Doctor Who. Like,
that would
really
be
bad.
awesome.
I'm sure that David Tennant would be psyched to do it. I bet he would love to.
Are you Whovian?
Oh yeah. I'm not all the way caught up, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love Doctor Who.
So what do you think of Peter Capaldi?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there yet.
I'm still on
Okay.
Matt Smith. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's growing on me though. The new Doctor. He's.
I've heard that he's great.
Yeah, he's been growing. Like at the beginning, I was kind of like, But by the end of the season, I'm in. I'm in.
Cool beans. Yeah, I
And that's starting
keep
again
meaning
soon.
to watch it and check it out, but I just there's never enough time for anything in my life.
Truth.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys either guys watched Killjoys?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nope.
Oh, it was a sci-fi show that just finished the first season, and it's really really good. It's got Aaron Ashmore, and a bunch of other nobodies, but it's basically about it. They're basically bounty hunters, like they're space bounty hunters. They go around and collect bounties and
Fun.
get into adventures, like that. So it's really cool. It's just like a space opera, and they're space bounty hunters.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Doxy.
Hi.
Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. Do you have anything else you've been playing?
Ooh,
That is?
no.
Doxy.
No, but I'm there. Like seriously though, we are getting into the good times.
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
saying,
excited.
this fall it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be real good.
I feel like
Next year also gonna be amazing.
Really good. Yeah.
I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. I think when Fallout comes out, we should probably do
Start podcasting more often.
some sort of side quest stories every week, because
Yeah, that'd be
we're not
cool.
doing the main quest thing, but there are some or just weird shit I saw in Fallout. We can make a cool graphic, because there's some old stuff like a skeleton in a bathtub with a toaster that I remember from Fallout 3, clearly just some weird stuff that was purposely put there, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. I already told my editor, so help me God, if there's nobody left to review Fallout, I'm still going to say no, because I have to take my time with that game. And if I power through it, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Nope. Mm-mm. I will take...
I quit.
Yeah, forget it. Give me the game, but I forget.
Yeah.
I'm done. I may have to pony up and do Star Wars Battlefront, which I guess.
Oh, okay.
First
Boo.
world problems. Doxy, what have you been playing?
I just the other night fired up Torchlight 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Torchlight too.
It is so fucking fun. And you guys already know what it's about. Everybody knows what it's about. It's fucking Diablo 2, except for demons. It's fantasy demons. Skeletons and monsters and stuff. And we started playing that on the stream the other night, and we had just boatloads of fun. And we were drinking and just having a good time and playing, and not a whole lot of people came and watched, and I was really shocked because it was a really good time. And maybe I was just really drunk and sloppy, but we were having so much fucking fun. And ever since that night, all I can think about is jumping back into more Torchlight 2.
Yeah.
And I had played it a little bit back in the day, and I remember loving it then. And I was playing with a bunch of my two of my friends who have since stopped talking to each other, so we couldn't keep playing. And I remember being really devastated for their friendship, but being even more devastated that I couldn't play Torchlight 2.
Listen, this sucks, but this sucks.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why.
Can't you just suck it up so you can play together?
Basically, I was just no, you guys have to mend this. You have to fix this. You love each other, right? Also, Torchlight.
So we're good now, right? We're good?
Yeah.
All right.
But
Don't do it for you, do it for Torchlight.
there are bigger fish to fry here, okay? We were right before a boss fight. Come on. But no, I'm really stoked to be getting back into it, and all the guys had a really good time, and I cannot wait to play some more. I'm playing as the engineer. Okay, so have either of you guys both will get a little bit into RPGs, right?
Yes.
Sure, of course.
Okay, well, I know you will, Brian, but Joe, yeah, you like Skyrim and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
all right. So I have had, as I've been getting older or whatever, I don't know, or as my tastes have developed, I suppose, I have had this kind of shift in my class preference where I used to always want to be a wizard or like somebody who does magic all the time because I thought that was the most interesting and fun. But lately, I just want to be the DPS machine. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want, is to, like, be a badass and fucking be able to tank a lot of damage and be able to deal a lot of damage. Like, my tastes just totally shifted, and I have no idea where that came from. Have either of you experienced that before?
Yeah.
It's so weird to me because, like, when I read about things or, like, watch movies, the stuff with magic always interests me more than the, like, super badasses. Even though the super badasses I still, like, am crazy about or whatever, but, like, just the magic stuff always thrills me more. But, like, when I have the choice to, like, be one of those people, I always decide to go with the badass. And so I became the engineer. And they have, like, I feel like they're the tankiest out of everybody. I could be wrong. I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking at the classes, but I noticed that my starting weapon was this big-ass fucking pipe wrench, and I was like, that's the character for me. And I love it. And I have this silly little pet, and it's really fun, and I am just so stoked. More loot than I can ever possibly equip, and, like, I get to pick and choose, like, what kind of elemental damage I want to do and, like, reflect or be strong against and not, like, take so much damage from. And it feels really good to have an RPG that gives you more choices than you know what to do with. You know what I mean? Because I feel like Skyrim did a really good job of that kind of in the beginning, but once you, like, set your path, you could never really, like, stray away from it. But with Torchlight, you can change your mind at any time when it comes to, like, the elemental stuff, at least. And that you can respec in that game, which is really cool. And so, like, you can have your cake and eat it too, and then eat some of your neighbors and some of their neighbors. You know what I mean? It's really cool. And I really appreciate that, the freedom of choice in video games, which is something that I talk about kind of often, I guess, on the podcast. Just like when you have a lot of choices, it makes it more replayable and something that you don't get tired of as quickly.
It was the best part about Torchlight 2, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Doxy, is just that they were like, okay, we could take this really seriously, or we could just let people have fun.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, let's just let people have fun.
Definitely. And, like, I'm not saying that, like, that Diablo sucks by any stretch of the imagination, because
it's awesome.
But it is, like, kind of this super serious and, like, dark, and I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
However, I'm not gonna crack a few beers and play it on stream and joke around about shit. Like, I'm gonna hunker down and be like, fucking get over there, like, it's time to come on, like, I'm dying over here. With Torchlight, I'm gonna be like, I'm dying. My healing bot sucks. I need to put more points into my healing bot and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm just gonna blow myself up now.
yeah. I'm like, oh shit, I sent my pet to town with only fucking one thing in his inventory. We're fucked. And it's gonna be fun and not like this devastating thing. I just love Torchlight. I love it. And I'm super, super hype that it went from a single player game to a multiplayer game, because it is so much more fun with friends. And, like, it was fun by yourself. It was so much fun by yourself, but now it is, like, so much fun, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. Also, I've been playing a shitload of Fallout Shelter.
Oh, that fucking game.
Yeah.
Fucking Fallout
It's really fun.
Shelter.
All of my dwellers got really sad, and I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with them. I had no idea. And then, And I did everything. Like, I Googled it. I'm like, all my fucking dwellers are sad. What do I do? And I built a med bay and a science lab for the thing, and then realized that the red part wasn't damage that was done to them. It's radiation poisoning, and all of my guys were dying of fucking radiation. And I haven't had a dweller die. Thankfully, I caught it in
just moaning.
Fucking time.
Every 10 minutes.
Like, I noticed one of them was just like, "Is that a hand growing out of my stomach?" And I was like, "Oh my god, that's radiation!" and so
God.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, when you start shaking people's stomachs hands, that's when you know that something went wrong.
Yeah.
Stomach hands.
Oh,
But
that
that's
was
pretty
good.
much it for what I've been playing besides like my daily dose of Isaac and whatnot.
Cool.
Have I ever talked about like how just how much I fucking play Isaac? Have I ever talked about that?
I don't think so. I think I always just assumed that like that's just what you're playing. If you're not,
Yeah, I thought that was your yeah.
it's kinda
It's my
your jam.
go. Every single day I play at least one Isaac run. It's this amazing game that like I have learned every fucking thing about. You know, so like I just know it really well, and every playthrough is a little bit different. So it's like it's just really nice to have this thing that like is almost my reality away from reality. You know what I mean? And like so like if I'm ever like having an anxiety attack, or if like I'm too worked up about something or too angry, or like if I just like need to wind down and go to bed, like I'll just throw on Isaac and play a run, and it's just this thing that's there for me that's just incredibly comforting, and I really love it.
Awesome.
And I think that like do either of you have anything like that, like a game that you just like escape to a lot?
I don't know if I have one particular game that I do that, but I do feel that when I get into when I really get into like a JRPG, I'm like, okay, I just know I'm gonna sink some time into this, and I don't even have to do anything. Like Tales of Xillia 2 was a really good example of that. Once I got into it, it was just like, okay, I'm just gonna pour an hour into this and just not worry about shit for an hour, and that's really nice. I'm kind of looking forward to Tales of Zestria, which comes out next month, I think. So.
I kind
That's
of have
hype.
like my like Wusaw games have always been Skyrim, Fallout, and actually GTA 4 and 5, because I complete the main campaign, jump in the single player, and just like not even necessarily cause havoc, like just get the 5-star or whatever. I would just go in and like fly a plane as low as I could, or just some random arbitrary goal.
Yeah.
That's kind of the most recently beyond GTA 5 has probably been Battlefield Hardline, because it's just like fuck it, all I have
So
to do.
good at relieving stress.
Yeah, all I gotta do is shoot people
Like,
in the
kill
face.
a million
I
people,
can do
yeah.
that. Yeah. But I've kind of laid off that. It's usually just like whatever. And actually, you know what? Metal Gear might become that. Might be my new
Well, yeah.
like Wusa. I'm gonna go find a bunch of herbs. I'm gonna go.
Got to build your mother brain.
Yeah, I'm gonna build my brain and get them Metroids. And just I think that'll probably be my next one. And then Fallout will come out and it'll all change, and
Yeah.
everything will change.
Right.
I don't know. Isaac is just a constant for me. Like no matter what comes up and how much I love it, I always find myself playing this game
I
over
didn't
and
mean
over.
to laugh when you started talking, but I pictured you like having, because this would be me if I like was like tuning in or starting a like, hey guys, here's my daily Isaac or daily like Spelunky is another good one. Like, we're gonna give it a shot. Like the second I died, I'd be like, well, fuck that. See you guys next time. And just relax and, like pissed off and get away.
No, I play it more off camera than I do on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's for me. It's not
Yeah.
for anyone else. You know. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You have
Yeah,
that.
you gotta have that. You definitely do.
I'm
Yeah.
almost obsessive about it. But I feel like it's a really healthy thing for me though too, because like normally I would just be sitting there panicking and being like, I'm gonna die. Someday I'm gonna die, or like whatever, just like stupid bullshit that like I can't let go of, or like
Yeah.
I'm so mad at Michael right now, or like I can't fucking sleep, and then I just stress about not being able to sleep and just lay there and get more and more angry or whatever. Instead, I just like play a game of Isaac. I calm down. It centers me really, really well, and it's just like it's this incredible, darling. It's like almost a medicated game for me, you know, and I really appreciate it for that. And like it feels so good that it's something that I am so passionate about, that is like a healthy enough outlet for me, that I'm not like turning to beer or like or something, you know what I mean? Like
There's definitely
feels
worse
good.
things out there.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, I think that's a pretty good note to call the show.
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed?
Play Isaac, kids. It centers me.
Don't explain the plot or the or, what is the gist of
plot?
that game? Yeah.
Okay, so your mom is a crazy religious fanatic, and there's like it hints about her being like schizophrenic or something. She hears the voice of God say that she needs to prove her devotion to him by murdering Isaac. And so Isaac escapes into the basement of the house and has to like fight his way through all these levels and then eventually kill his mom and then eventually kill either a version of himself or the devil or like whatever. And you get all these power-ups that make it easier, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
Damn it, Brian.
Oh, bye, Brian.
Damn it. We'll wait for Brian to come back before
Okay.
I call the show because I don't want him to miss that. Stupid work group.
I wish that this fucking Discordia thing had face cam because it is amazing. It is so good. The sound quality is fantastic. I'll make a server and link you to it. You can run it from the web or like from your browser,
Okay.
or you can download an app for it, and it's incredible. But you got to check it out. Like, I'll do it right after we're done recording. You got to see it.
Cool.
It's amazing. I wanted to talk about it on the podcast, but I forgot.
Oh my god. I hate Skype so much.
We'll go back.
Yes, thanks.
No problem.
Did you guys just close it out? I'm cool
No.
with that.
No.
we're-
I
Oh.
waited for you.
Oh, okay.
I just got an
Sorry.
email about Loot Crate, Fallout 4 limited Loot Crate.
Fuck,
such a
man, I
fucking nerd.
hate being poor.
Ah, shit. Never mind. I was gonna say, did you get the mouse yet?
No, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
I'm excited. Did you like pay extra for it to get here faster?
No, I paid
Okay.
for ground. And it was,
Okay.
they were like, yeah, ground will be this much for, and it'll be there on Thursday. Cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. We can expedite it. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, good. I'm glad you.
Like the UPS store. You're rich, lady. Her name was January.
I like the name January.
I do too. I always think of
cute.
January Jones on Mad Men.
I also know a girl named September, and I think that that's really pretty too.
That is nice. I like that.
That's nice,
I
yeah.
like that very much.
Anyway, did you want to talk about Discordia real quick?
No, I'll save it for next week.
Okay, cool. Remind me to edit this video because otherwise just throw it up as is. Fuck it.
Whatever.
So that'll do it for this episode of the Homerow Podcast. I am your host, Joe, for the... No, hold up. Doxy, where can we find you? I'm really bad. I'm just
That's okay.
Not here today.
That's fine. You can find me at twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY, youtube.com/ZER0DOXY, or twitter.com/ZERODOXY.
Yeah.
Also, you can find me playing Isaac all the time. All the time.
Just look around. She's in that basement. And Brian, where can we find you, buddy?
Yes, you can always find me on twitter.com/Quiglin, QUIGLIN.
And as we try it again, I am your lovely host, Joe McAllister. You can find me at twitter.com/Joe_McAllister. That's MCCALLISTER. Follow that micro machine, man. So for the Homerow Podcast, we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.